All right, today we're going to dive into something pretty cool. The art and science of taking better notes, and how they can seriously bring some clarity to your life.
You know that feeling. When you look at your notes and it's just chaos, a jumble of to-do lists and random thoughts. Yeah, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by that, trust me, you are not alone.
And here's the thing, a lot of the time, the problem isn't actually you. It's the method. See that note on the left? That's what most of us do. Just walls of text. It captures facts, sure, but it totally misses the bigger picture. Compare that to the one on the right. It's visual, it shows connections, it even captures a bit of the feeling. It's a whole different ballgame.
So, here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at why our notes usually fail us. Then, we'll explore a great all-in-one system. We'll get into thinking with pictures, tackle the big analog versus digital debate, and finally, see how this all comes together to help you design your life.
All right, first up, why our notes fail. Let's really get into the core of the problem here, from all that mental clutter to those misconnections.
Okay, so here's the deal. Your standard text-heavy notes, they're all about left-brain logic, but they totally miss out on the wholeness and the feeling of an idea. They just don't capture those holistic connections that are so crucial for memory and real understanding. I mean, think about it. Your brain doesn't think in bullet points, right? It thinks in webs, in pictures, in relationships. It loves visual cues. That's why it's so much easier to remember a story than a dry list of facts.
So, what's the solution? Well, it starts with building a solid, unified foundation for, well, everything you need to remember.
And that brings us to bullet journaling. It is just a fantastic starting point. The big idea is to combine everything into one single place. Your tasks, your events, your random notes, for every part of your life. It really just stops the madness of juggling a work planner, a personal to-do list, a diary. You get the picture.
At its heart, it's a really smart, modular system built on these 4 pillars. You've got your index, which is basically a table of contents, the future log for big picture goals, the monthly log for a bird's eye view of your month, and the daily log for all the day-to-day stuff. It helps you organize the past, present, and future in one spot. It's kind of like you're building your own personal operating system one page at a time.
Now this is where the magic happens. The real power comes from these simple little symbols. They let you capture a ton of information super fast. It turns your notebook into this incredible tool for what's called rapid logging. So you're not writing out long, tedious sentences. Instead, you're creating a kind of shorthand, a language to talk to your future self. And it's just incredibly efficient.
Okay, so we have a structure. Now let's talk about how to supercharge it. This is where we get into thinking with pictures, turning your notes from a passive record into a truly active tool.
And before you say, but I can't draw, let me stop you right there. Seriously, don't worry about it. Visual note-taking is not about being an artist. It's just about using simple shakes to get ideas across. If you can draw a stick figure, you've got everything you need to do this, for real.
I mean, look at this. You can represent almost any object just by combining 3 basic shapes: a circle, a square, and a triangle. It's like you're creating your own visual alphabet. And with that alphabet, you can build visual words, sentences, even whole stories.
So why does this work so well? Well, the bottom line is this. Adding even simple drawings transforms your notes. They go from being just a passive record of stuff to an active tool for thinking and solving problems. You're not just copying information down anymore. You're actually processing it, understanding it on a deeper level.
Okay, so we have a system and a visual language. Now for the big question. Analog or digital? Pen and paper or a tablet? Let's choose your perfect tool.
Right, so here's the thing. There is no best choice. There's only what's best for you. It's a classic trade-off, right? Pen and paper gives you amazing focus, fewer distractions, and that really satisfying feel. But digital offers incredible flexibility. You can erase, move things around, and it's instantly searchable. The most important thing is to pick the tool you know you'll actually stick with.
So, why are we doing all this? What's the real payoff? Well, it's because a good system for your notes isn't just about getting organized. It's about designing a more intentional life. For example, you can build really practical, concrete tools, like this financial tracker. You can map out your budget, track your savings goals. It makes those abstract money targets totally visible and, honestly, way more achievable.
Or what about learning? It becomes this incredibly powerful tool. You can use mind maps to organize and memorize really complex stuff for school, for work, whatever. You're basically turning pages and pages of dense text into one single easy-to-remember image.
And of course, it can help you plan and remember all of life's amazing adventures. A simple itinerary can become this beautiful, cherished memory map. It doesn't just capture the schedule, it captures the whole feeling of the trip.
And that really gets to the heart of it. Your notebook, your journal, it becomes this private space, a place for self-reflection, for figuring out who you are. It's a way to affirm that your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences, they all matter.
Virginia Woolf just captured this idea so perfectly. She described the journal as this place where all the little fragments of our lives, all the odds and ends, can settle down and sort themselves out into something coherent, something meaningful. It's the space where chaos finally finds its form.
So when it comes right down to it, the perfect system is the one you create for yourself. It's not about finding the perfect app or the fanciest notebook. It's about building a practice, a habit that actually serves your life. So the real question is, what story are you going to tell with your notes?